Okay, this is all looking good, so we can do this.
Tell me when you're ready.
Now,
this is an extract from American Blowjob. It's a new book out through Paroxysm Press in Adelaide in September this year. This is set in 1984, and in this chapter I'm in New York City, and it's called If I Ever Get Out of Here, Gonna Give It All Away. I got that from two kids who were out on the corner listening to Band on the Run on a boombox, the old Getter Blaster. Remember those kids? I stood and watched them a while, keeping warm, moving. Then I said, "Hey man, the Beatles, eh?" They just looked at me blankly, as if I'd fallen out of the clear blue yonder. So I reiterated, "The Beatles, like, that's McCartney, he was in the band with Lennon. You know Lennon, man." The kids continued to stare, then one said, "That old man who got wasted, yeah? Good shit on a good day." Some flicker of recognition. We all get wasted, one way or another. Maybe I'll see Debbie Harry, maybe not. No one would shoot her, she's way too cute. I look at Rusty's order, which is still where I left it. Though covered in violations, the NYPD has been busy again. All these fucking sirens, day and night. All this noise, this is incessant legal heat, this cold water. Odd characters hammering on doors at all hours, and more annoying when I'm trying to watch Charlie's Angels on the black and white TV. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a colour TV? Forget the Mercedes-Benz, bud. That would only be debased around here. And besides, there's nowhere to park it. And how the fuck did Cheryl Ladd get into Angels anyhow? The woman has a chubby thigh problem. I've been down to 75th Avenue subway just for a look. Maybe I can ride the subway out to JFK one day real soon. Then we have to go to the Greek, the Pawn King. Lou asked me what I have to pawn, and I tell her nothing but my tan leather bomber jacket, which I need because it's way fucking cold. A few tapes which I need if I ever get out of here. My book, which I don't really need. My Maggie t-shirt, which I'm way over. And my Bears cap, which I'm still into. She obviously sees me speak, and has learned to lip read, because she sure don't hear me. Great, she says, and with my coat. And I say, "Hold on, honey. I said I had that stuff, not that I want to pawn it. And if you pawn that coat, well, if anyone will take it as a pawn, how are you going to stay warm? How are we going to stay warm?" She has those glazed eyes, like Brie on Angels, though Brie ain't a dopehead, because Charlie wouldn't tolerate impure chicks. "Yeah," she says, "we'll do okay with that. We'll go tomorrow, huh? You want it?" "No," I tell her. "Great," she draws. "You got any smokes?" "No," I tell her. "Can you lend me one?" "No, where have all your Lou Reed albums gone?" "I'll give you something for one." "One what?" "Smoke." "No thanks. Did you shoot Lou Reed into your arm too?" "Yeah, Lou's happy in there inside, you know." "Fucking junkie." "Don't be mad, sugar, come to bed." "I ain't pawning my coat, it's way too fucking cold." "Sure, baby, whatever you say." So the following day we go to the Greek. He is no Dionysus. No, he is an arrogant son of a bitch. But he takes our shit, which is mostly my shit, and then gives us a ridiculously low-end loan amount. But before I can laugh, Lulu is leaning over the counter whispering in his hairy ear. Then she goes to the cage door. And then he lets her in, and then I'm in the shop alone. And I stand there running the numbers. They all come back to zero. A guy comes in carrying what looks like a canary cage and a pair of swimming flippers. He smiles at me. I smile back, no harm being friendly. He asks, "Where's the shit, man?" I shrug, it ain't my concern. A few minutes later, Lulu comes back out through the cage door, wiping the back of her mouth with one hand. The dude with the lost bird in the ocean looks at me like I'm a pimp, as the Greek hands us a few more bucks than I'd bargained for. We turn to leave. I look at the guy with the cage and say, "Good luck with that, bud." Outside, it suddenly strikes me that I've pawned my gear for a few bucks, and that those bucks are firmly in Lulu's hand, and that they won't stay in her grip for too long if she meets a dealer. So I start hassling her for my share of the bread. Surprisingly, she gets shitty about this. Tells me she's going down to Station Square to meet a guy, or a bus, she can't remember which. All this trudging back and forth to the clinic for Lulu to slurp meth, and then try to score something extra from some street punk wearing his dead grandma's wedding gown. That's the routine I've been in for several days now. I can tell her that buses don't deal dope, insofar as I know, and can I have some of that goddamn cash? And now I'm sounding like a pimp too. But folks don't bother with us brawling, because they're used to this kind of street crap, two fuckheads arguing over a fistful of dollars. No good here, just the bad and the fucking ugly. I am losing track of time, but Lulu has the inside track. As for religion, that was never there, thus it can't be lost or found. Forget it, forget the church signs. Jesus don't save, he deals. 78% pure and 39% alcohol content, and only 6.5% above the prime interest rate. Jesus is an amalgamated industry. Lots of fingers in many pies, turning water into wine and talcum powder into smack. Jesus is your fucking saviour. I wrestle a 20 off her, surprising how strong she is when money or dope is involved. Then we slink back to her place where the roaches know our names and the TV plays all day and night. I've stopped feeling sorry for her, I realised, and now she just plain aggravates me. Makes me feel like I want to kill her, and that makes me feel sorry for myself for being sucked into this madness. And it's way worse than feeling sorry for her ever was, let her rot or OD or any damn thing, but having to enjoy her approaches for some kind of intimacy makes my gut churn and my mind reel, until I get drunk. Yes, after that her appearance becomes somewhat seductive to me. That sallow look, bulging ribcage, scraggly hair, that pelvic jar. Yes, so we get down to it, the business end. Only it ain't working somehow, and I can't quite see why. Maybe the ambience, maybe the fucking TV, maybe the rain outside. Maybe the guy next door is doing something with an electric power tool. Something, everything, nausea. In the end she ends up in the position I know so well, on her knees with my piece in her mouth. And when I can't quite stand for falling down, I end up on the mattress staring at the ceiling as she loses her ability to suck. Which is about where the second part began, I think, only she doesn't have a sweet-toothed double-barreled name, like I first thought, and she isn't a runaway, or maybe she is. But I was hammered, hungry, desperate, destitute. And when you're like that, things get kind of screwy. The memories are all watery, the mind a lump of dough. And when I wrote that bit, I thought she was Candy Ann, Lulu Mars' only friend, but now I realise I never had intimates with Candy Ann, because she wasn't that kind of girl. Which was a darn shame. Finally though, just like I inferred, Lulu comes to grips with the oral practice, and away we go off to the heartland. And when it's over and the music stops, I know I have to go. Right then, quit on a high, no going down with the ship, when there was still a chance to jump and take my chances overboard with the sharks. So I told her I was going for cigarettes, which was true. I just didn't mention that I meant to get them at JFK. She did ask for sugar cubes just as I left, and I said, sure, no problem. I walked around to the car, which was still there, one tyre rather squishy, its windscreen plastered with leaflets and parking violations and C's and tow notices, and some shit about the Baptist church giving out free soup on Fridays. I could have done with soup right then, even if it meant becoming a Baptist to get it. After all, I am a water sign. I had a feeling that the car wouldn't start, that God, the Baptists, everybody hated me. That even if by some fucking miracle it did start, I'd never make it to JFK because the gas had probably been siphoned. Or because I had no idea how to get to JFK other than look up planes taking off and landing somewhere while I drove. But with only $7.50 to my name, it was a shout. I cleaned all the shit off the windscreen and threw it in the back seat. A fine American principle. Ignore it and it will go away, and if it don't, kill it. I stuck the key into the ignition, pumped the accelerator once or twice, turned over the engine, and after 4 almighty coughs and belches, the bitch bucked right back to life, like the American-made tin pot horse she was. God bless Detroit. I was moving, hopefully in the right direction. I was heading home to where the sun never shone, and you couldn't get shot, and where the good doctor was always in. It felt okay, soothing, like being drawn to a polarised lodestone of your own device. I looked for signs, or planes, or buses with JFK on the front, any damn thing, until I was totally lost and I pulled up to a yellow cab being driven by some swarthy-looking ethnic with a yellow mohawk, and shouted across my front seat if he knew the way to JFK. He shouted back, yeah, and then he drove away, the goddamn lunatic. I tried again at the next light, and the Italian taxi driver eyed me curiously, and then asked me if I liked Paolo Rossi. Sure, I told him, great striker. He smiled and said, you are follow me, okay? So I did. I trusted in God, the yellow cab company, and Paolo Rossi, which was how I got to JFK. And I knew there was no turning back now. I hit the long stay, why the fuck not? I assumed that Rusty's junker would be there some considerable time. I am nothing if not a decent citizen. That done, I tossed the keys into the trunk, then shut it, problem solved. Hey ho, let's fucking go. Take me home to the place where I was born, just so long as it isn't West fucking Virginia. The fuck, the missing angels.
I have an unsettling inability to say no. Maybe I'm too good-natured, I don't know. But whenever it came to the straight choice, somehow I always said yes. Yes, fits nicely into the American dream anyhow. Everything and anything is possible in America, and no matter where in the world we are born and raised, we understand that the word no doesn't exist in America. So, yes, I really screwed up this time. I screwed up because I am screwed up. In that respect, I share an affinity with America and its screw-ups. I ought to have been...